Welcome back to the on-rest debate and to an edition of Smackdown Out of 10. The Rock returned to Smackdown to address the bombshell challenge laid by Cody Rhodes for a one-on-one encounter, and yeah, there will obviously be more developments with him on the card as well as much more happening on the show, including Bayley and Dakota against Kairi and Asuka, a street fight on here as well. But we started things off with the Bloodline, first with the undisputed champ Roman Reigns, commanding acknowledgement as he typically does, followed by the return of The Rock. One-liners for fans were made, fans rained down on him with boos, and we finally got the meat of the segment some 30 minutes into the broadcast as a great one countered Cody Rhodes' challenge for a match by issuing a challenge of his own for the biggest tag match in history at WrestleMania. On the grand stage of all, it will be Rock and Roman versus Rhodes and Rollins in the main event of night one, with two enormous stipulations. A win for the latter team would make him free of Bloodline rules, but if the heels win, it would be Bloodline rules. The head of the table didn't appear overly thrilled and interrupted with the Rock's trademark catchphrase saying he would do anything for the family, but he wanted acknowledgement from his cousin. Rock did, and the Bloodline stood towards closing its explosive segment that took forever to get anywhere, but when it did, it delivered big time. Reigns was the star here. Rock did all of the talking on the mic, but the Tribal Chief's facial expressions and body language told the story. He was a guy forced to sit back and watch his fellow famous family member take centre stage, barking out orders and issuing challenges, and the paranoia of the absence of self-confidence kind of came in. He needed the Rock to acknowledge him so he could turn whatever pace of power through he thought he had in his family. When the Great One did, Reigns brimmed with confidence and the Bloodline took centre stage and raised their fingers in the sky. It was not lost when the Rock teased them coming out again, forming the nail in the direction of the champ. There are so many layers to this story, really good stuff from all involved, and yeah, the storytelling was kind of on a different level here. The first match on the card was Naomi taking on Tiffany Stratton, before the first match, a backstage venue set up Orton and Theory as the main event, but in the arena, Stratton made her way to the ring to battle Naomi. It was already in the squared circle and looking to avenge her loss at Chamber. What followed was a back and forth match, clearly hampered by time constraints, but I think it's still pretty solid. Stratton delivering the prettiest moonsault ever for the hard-fought victory. There's an argument that Naomi should not be losing so much early on in their return, but the reaction she gets from the crowd is positive. I just hope they do stuff with her, but for this match alone, it's pretty decent between two teams with good chemistry, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But moving on into Bayley and Dakota Kai versus the Kabuki Warriors, the deceit and betrayal of Damage Control reared its ugly head again here as Dakota Kai turned on Bayley, dropping off the apron as the Women's Royal Rumble winner was about to make a much needed tag. Bayley fired up, fended off Asuka and Kairi Sane, then turned her fury toward Kai. She unloaded, but the heels had the numbers advantage and ultimately left her lying to close out the segment. While it was predictable that this would happen, but it made sense to make the number one contender feel even more sympathetic as the fans rally behind it. It worked well, and I think Bayley versus the World Tour at WrestleMania 40 definitely looked like it's going well, and I think Bayley definitely going to be the crowd favourite and probably going to get a big uplifting babyface victory at WrestleMania, so we saw it coming, but I think it's the best route to go down in all honesty, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, Braun Breaker made his second in-ring appearance on Friday night, squaring off against Zion Quinn. It's a blink and you'll miss it kind of moment as he exploded across the ring after the opening bell, destroying Quinn with a spear, pinning him and securing the W within a few seconds. It was utter dominance, and the crowd in Glendale responded favourably, indicating that the squash match format may work well for the second generation NXT star as he transitions to the main roster. So that's exactly what we want to see between these two, and I'll go with 6 out of 10. Moving on then to Carlito versus Santos Escobar, and Rey Mysterio returned from injury, unloading on Garza and Carrillo, en route to aiding his LWO teammate Carlito in a victory over Escobar. It was extremely well done, with the hardcore brawling start, the heel interference from Angel and Humberto there, a running save from Cruz on Whacking Wild, and the eventual return of the legend. The crowd was red hot for it all, with the Mysterio blowing the roof off, the 619 finish into a spinebuster from Carlito for a table was great, and a perfect exclamation point on the contest. It was a perfectly constructed match, and the angle that will ultimately set up either Mysterio versus Escobar on a multi-man match between the two segments. It should be the Hall of Famer's second consecutive big match on the WrestleMania stage, something that's well deserved after his tumultuous history at the event. So on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Before it was main event time and Randy Orton taking on Austin Theory. Before that, Nick Aldis confronted and arranged LA Knight, informing him that he'd instructed AJ Styles not to be at the show. The megastar vowed revenge against the P1 and told the SmackDown GM that no one, not even him, would prevent him from achieving it. From there, Kevin Owens joined Grace and Barrett in the commentary position as Randy Orton set up a match by Grace and Wall older adversary, throwing his friend under the bus, potentially leading to tension there. A surprisingly good competitive match saw Orton give Theory some quality offense before a fiery finish. They included table bumps to Giddy Owens and one of the greatest star KOs of all time from the arrogant heel. The Viper secured the win. Owens joined them in the win, dispatching heels one last time as the two baby faces stood tall. And yeah, put a spotlight on Logan Paul and what's going to happen between them at WrestleMania, and also Theory and Waller and their friendship. So yeah, for me, worked well, 6 out of 10. But moving on into overall SmackDown, and yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought it was a good episode of SmackDown. Obviously, the fallout from Elimination Chamber, I think there's quite a lot of good stuff in here. And yeah, obviously building nicely towards WrestleMania. Lots of different angles and storylines that could potentially lead to after Mania as well. So keeping it intriguing for sure. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.